Hi, candidate attorneys and law students and anyone who might be interested in law. My name is Lara Sebeka and I am a candidate attorney, LLM student, and I am making this video basically to break down board exams and how I passed them. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So I recently made a post on TikTok saying I'm gonna be making a YouTube video explaining how board exams work, and I asked people to comment in the video any question that they have. Not so many people asked the questions. I think 2 people asked. So I'm gonna break down these questions and then get to how I passed my board exam. The first person is saying, I want to understand what's the requirement to be eligible to write board exams and also be admitted after passing, because I saw people graduating in September and also posting that they passed board exam. I'm confused on the whole procedure. So basically, I'm going to break this question into 2. The first one is saying the requirement to be eligible to write board exams. So for you to be able to write board exams, you need either 2 things. You need to either have 6 months of articles, or you need to have went to law school for I don't know for how long, but I think it's for that 6 months, the 6 months one. So either you've done board exam, you've done articles, or you have went to law school. So the people who might have graduated in September but then posted that they passed board exams, I honestly think it's people who have articles. I know it might be that you need to have your degree to serve your articles, but sometimes some law firms just say to you, just give us your academic record indicating that you're going to be graduating on a specific date, and then you can serve your articles. So another thing is, yes, so for you to be eligible, basically I'll put the link on for registration on my description box. But what you need to know is that the registration for March have not yet been open. I think they're gonna open in January and close in February. So yeah, that's what you have to do. I don't remember if you can okay, so if you have your articles and you have registered them and you have 6 months, they're gonna need you to attach the PVT contract, practical vocational training contract. Yes, the one that you've registered with LPC. If you have law school, you're gonna have to attach your certificate. So that's basically how it goes. The next question says, how did you study for boards while serving articles? I'm struggling to juggle both work and study. I passed paper 2 and 4 last year, August. March this year I didn't write, then August I wrote and failed both 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, I think before I answer this question, I need to break down my journey. So I wrote first time in March and I passed 1 and got oral for 2. I passed paper 2 and got an oral for paper 4 and paper 1. Passed the oral paper 1 and failed the oral paper 4. So I had to write. I wrote paper 3 and paper 4 in August and I passed both. So how I studied juggling, how I juggled boards and articles, I don't know how to answer this, but yeah, it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of sacrifice. So I didn't have a life basically while doing the 2, right? So for those of you who know, I'm a content creator, I'm a YouTuber as well. So I had to put all of those things on pause and be able to study. Another thing I must say is that whenever I was free at work, I studied. They also know this boardroom would be my study room, because if we're not that busy, if we don't have if we don't have those deadlines and everything happening, I'm in the boardroom doing what? Studying. Another thing is I would come early to work and then study. Like now, I'm literally 24 minutes early, but I started this video late, but I think I'm 30 minutes early. If I wasn't done with my boards, I would be studying. Another thing that I must say that people look down on is preparing in advance, right? So if you're registering in January and you're writing in March, immediately after registering, my mind told me I qualified to write and I have an exam number right now. I need to start studying. So I would study. I think I started studying in June. Right after the results came out, And right after we got, the feedback and everything, I started studying. And I think the other mistake that I noticed while I was studying was that I would literally just study and not revise, right? So I came up with new tricks and new tips on how to make sure that everything is literally engraved in my mind, right? And another thing that I would do is I would literally just go through the acts, like maybe I'm going through a newspaper or something like that. So that is basically how I managed to juggle both. I was taking advantage of my free time at work. So those are the questions that were asked. Honestly, I'm so disappointed that not a lot of people asked questions, right? But I know that there's a lot of questions in my DMs. I think I forgot to just take a screenshot of the questions. But most people also, another thing that people ask is, which material do you use? Especially considering the fact that I didn't go to law school when I passed my board exams. I still have to go to law school. I'm doing law school now. But normally what you would do is go to law school first and then write your board exam, because law school basically prepares you for your board exams. But the fact that people can pass boards without going to law school, it shows that there is no need. But also, I'm not going to look down on it, because it's an opportunity for you to be exposed to different kinds of law, and you're exposed by it by people who are, attorneys, advocates, professors, all of those things, magistrates even. So I think it's an opportunity for you to basically learn and advance what you already learned, right? Because honestly, your degree basically doesn't even scratch the surface of what is there in terms of practice and in terms of everything that you need to do in order to reach your goal in terms of being an attorney. So another question that a lot of people ask is, yes, which material do I use? So the material that I used, I basically asked for material, right? So my friends would provide me with study materials from people who do these classes, right? So there's Sheila does classes, and I followed her on YouTube, and I kind of watched the videos where she was breaking down content, especially paper 1 and paper 3, right? So yeah, I would literally just look at those videos where she's teaching us, and yeah, make notes here and there. And also these Nadel classes, I'll put a link of everything I'm talking about in the description box, so that if you guys feel the need to check everything that I'm saying, you can just go through and check. I'll also link Sheila's classes, right? And yeah, so I would ask for material from people who have already written their boards, passed, maybe not, but yeah, that's basically how I studied. Another thing is I need to point out is LPC, right before you guys write, I think the week before you write, they will do a session where they're breaking down the papers, all 4 papers, and they will be basically telling you what is expected of you, what you need to know, and what you need to focus on. They give you a syllabus that has all the material that all the content that you need to do, the acts, the code of conducts in terms of every paper. So that needs to be your best friend. You need to always have that with you every time. That literally guides you on how you're studying. So for instance, with paper, let me just say paper 4, they will tell you that you need to know the figure, right? And you need to know what is that amount that you require, what is that amount that you're required to report to the LPC when you receive it from a client before it is transferred into your trust account. So the threshold amount. So basically that's what the syllabus tells you. So syllabus is your best friend. Ask around for help, revise your notes when you're studying, and always know that you can do it. You did a 4-year degree. What's for exams? They're not gonna stop you in any way. And failing, honestly, I was talking to some of the girls I met while writing in August. I told them that, guys, do you realize how tricky it is for you to qualify to write these exams? The fact that we qualified, guys, I think we overlook small things in life. But the fact that we qualified, the fact that they called us to say, come write. We met the requirements, we have the experience, the fact that we qualified, that is honestly something to be grateful for, something to brag about. Whether you pass or not, that is literally, you'll cross that river when you get there. But the fact that you qualified, the fact that you even showed up. I saw this other post, Barry, if you fail, congratulations. Some people didn't even try, you understand? So it might take long. The people who pass boards writing 4 all at once, they pass, done. So if someone can do that, then how is that stopping you? If I can pass 2 and then write 2, you understand, it can be done. So lastly, what I'd like to say is, if you are not sure of whether you'll be able to juggle 4, studying for 4 exams, it's always okay to take 2 and then 2 in August. There's a reason why there's 2 exam sessions, one in March and one in August. So if you do 2 in March, you can always do 2 in August. Obviously, go in there not telling yourself that I am passing this 2 and passing this 2, because imagine taking 2 and failing all of them. Now you have to take all 4 in August, you understand? So I wanted to say also that it's also advisable to take 4, because people pass 4. I know a lot of people who took 4 and passed 4. So it's doable, 100% doable. Also, like me, I wrote 4, passed 1 and got an oral for 2. So if I passed both these orals and not 1, I would have left with 1 exam. And for honestly, 1 exam is it's doable. You can adjust. So take your chances, have faith, have hope, and do the work. For now, this is where I'm going to leave it. If you have any questions, honestly, just comment down below. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok. It's @JoletMami. Please follow me on Instagram also. And please don't forget to like this video and comment and also subscribe.